Welcome to the fourth video of Data Engineering playlist. In the earlier three videos, we understood about cloud computing and the basics of our Azure Data Storage. In this video, we will be understanding about the advanced concepts of our Azure Data Storage. So let's get started. These are the points that we will be discussing. We'll first start with the use cases of storage account, then the difference between our basics like the blob storage and ADLS, then the pricing and configuration. The use cases of storage account are a lot, and this is pretty straightforward. Like storing files and documentations, backup and restoring process, disaster recovery, big data analytics, web and mobile application. And we will be seeing this in further as the series goes on. Let's move on to the next point, which was the difference between blob and ADLS. In the earlier video, we understood how we can create blob or ADLS and the basic difference between them. In this video, we will be understanding a little bit more about that. We had understood that blob is nothing but binary large object, while ADLS is Azure Data Lake Storage. The basic difference we understood at that time was um, that this Azure Blob Storage has a or supports flat hierarchy, while this ADLS supports hierarchical namespace, or we can create directories and folders inside of the container. One and the first point is it is optimized for big data analytics. I would say if we use ADLS for big data analytics, it will be faster. While if we only use Azure Blob Storage for storing our device and using it for big data analytics, it will be pretty slow. Second one was hierarchical namespace. Yes, we can create folders inside of the containers, and inside that folder, we can have another folder and the file. While Azure Blob Storage is mostly like a flat structure where we cannot create further folders inside of it. Then we have performance. Yes, I told you it has high performance, while Azure Blob Storage has also high performance, but just for general tasks. That means just for using it as a backup or for storing the files. Security access, yes, this is more secure, and Azure Blob Storage has a basic storage access. Analytics integration, it is like built in for analytics, and it has limited integration to the analytical tools. And then we have data types. It is optimized for all types of data. What do I mean by that is I mean, we can use it for structured data, semi-structured data, or unstructured data. And when I say structured data, you can like think of it as a table format, data in table format or semi-structured. But Azure Blob Storage is best for unstructured data. Then we have cost structure. ADLS is having higher cost, yes, and blob storage is having lower cost because it is used just for basic purposes. And then we have use cases ideal for large scale data analytics, and Azure Blob Storage is best for backups, web apps, and more. I mean, we can just create a storage and use blob storage. That would be the best thing. Let's move on to the our portal and let's see the basic difference between both of them. So here we have. So here we are. Earlier we had created two storage accounts. First was ADLS, then we had blob. And what I was talking about is, so here in ADLS, if we go inside of the container. Okay, let me create a name. Let me give any name right now. I can give Arnesh. You can give any name. You do not need to worry about anything. Okay, Arnesh. So the container name has been created, and in that I can either upload any file or add another folder. Like, let me create another folder with the name Arnesh. So we have a folder, and inside that outside of it we have a container whose name is also Arnesh. So here I can upload a file, then I can delete it and move it or do anything else. Moving on to our next topic, which was pricing. As I told you earlier, that nothing in the cloud world is free. So whatever you do, whatever resource you create, whatever resource you use or maintain, you are paying for it. And pricing and handling pricing is very important. Otherwise, the charges could be a lot, right? And for that, we have certain things like access tiers, life cycle management, and data redundancy options. These are the basics ones. Let's see the first one, access tiers. There are three type of Azure storage access tiers, and it's all about the utility. For example, we have three like hot tier, cool tier, and archive tier. Okay, let's understand it with an example. Suppose you went to a trip and you clicked a lot of photos and videos. Now, you know, you went in a group and you have a lot of photos and videos, and you would be seeing that frequently, or you would be sharing it with other people frequently. But as the time goes, and suppose it's after a month, you will be looking at those photos not so frequent. You will be looking at them once in a while, once in a day, or once in a week. Now, and then a time comes when you do not even look at those videos or photos on the daily or weekly basis. You just look at them once in a year. So that's how we can explain the three access tiers of our Azure storage account. If we want any file, we want any storage account, we want any account, and we want it to be quick. We want to use that storage account and we want to use the files inside of it. So we can and create the storage account in hot tier. The benefits are it can read and write faster. It will be having a higher cost. When the storage account or file is in hot tier, it will be having a higher cost, but it is quick to read and write. That way it is very efficient. Then we have cool tier. I will be showing you these three tiers in our storage account, but let's understand it here for a while. So we have cool tier where we can read fast, but when you write the files in that location, it will be slow. So when you will be trying to write the file, or I would say upload the file there, it would be a little bit late, delayed to write the files there. Then we have archive tier. Archive tier is same, so it is used for rarely accessed data. Now, suppose the storage account is old and you do not really need to look at the files. You can have those files in access tier. Suppose I'm working in a company and there are there are few files that I would not need. I just need it for for the compliances or the documentations that I can need in case of any emergency or something. So that then we can have those files in the archive tier. That way, the cost will reduce if you see. And how we can have that? There are like three ways. I think we understood about the three tiers that we have in our Azure storage account and we can manage it. Right. Now we can also manage these access tiers using lifecycle management. So there are two ways to manage these access tiers. First is doing it manual. Now suppose I create a storage account, it would be in hot tier. But I want that, I do not need the storage account anyway soon, or I would just need in once in a week. So I can keep that, or I can, configure it to be a cool tier storage account. Then after like some days, if I do not even need that storage account, I can put it in archive tier where I will be having a lower cost. So it's all about the pricing. But I'm a data engineer and I want to do it what automatically. That way it is more efficient, right? So what I can do is I can manage access tiers using lifecycle management. That's what I'm making it automated. And for that, what options do I have? I have what I can do, move data from hot tier to cool tier after 30 days of inactivity. Suppose a storage account or file is inactive for like 30 days. What this lifecycle management policy will do is it will automatically move the file or storage account from hot tier to cool tier. And now, if the if the I mean if the file is still inactive or the file is still in cool tier, then after 180 days, the data would automatically be moved to archive tier. That way, the cost will get reduced. And then the file, if we want, the file can be deleted after a certain period if we do not need it. There are many companies these days that do not have the policy of storing the data. And what they can do is they can enable these options where the details of the customers would be deleted after a certain period. I mean, you would also have seen in a lot of pages or a lot of applications or companies where they write, we do not save your data. And that way they can do it automatically. Now let's go to our portal and see where are the options of this hot tier, cool tier, and archive tier. And also we will see the lifecycle management policies there. Here we are in our storage account. Let's go to our ADLS because we will be mostly using ADLS. And here we are. Okay, if we go here and look at the overview, so this is the overview part in the left panel here. And okay, so this was our data lake storage. Here, hierarchical namespace is enabled. And if you see default access tier, by default, the access tier is hot. Okay, let's click on it. If we click on it, it shows that the storage account V2. And here, what I can do is by default, it is hot, but I can change it to cool tier and like save it. Once I do that, changing the access tier may result in additional charges because we are doing it manually and I can then keep it to cold. So for example, I am putting it to cool tier. So this was done manually. But now what I want to do is I don't want to do it manually like this. I would want that, okay, my storage account should automatically be, coming into cool tier or archive tier or after a certain period of time. So what I can do is I can go to this left panel, type here lifecycle management, click on it basically and set some rules. I can like add the rule here. Rule number one, I can like name it anything. Rule number one, apply rule to all blobs in your storage account. So blob is nothing but file. So it will be applying to all the files, base blobs. Yes, this is correct. Click on next. And if base blobs were last modified more than 30 days, then delete the move it to cool storage. So we have option cool storage for infrequently accessed data that you want to keep on cool storage for 30 days, for at least 30 days, 90 days and 180 days. Let's move on to the cool storage. So our if the files are not used, it will be kept into cool tier after like what? After 30 days of inactivities by default. Okay. I can add another condition, but for now, keeping it simple, I am clicking on add and my life cycle management policy has been updated, which says that if the last, if any file, if my data storage account was last modified and it has been inactive for 30 days, it will be moved to what? Cool tier. And why we are doing that? Why we are doing this so much thing? Because we want to reduce the pricing. That was about the managing the access tier and lifecycle management policies. Let's go back to the next point, which was data redundancy option. This is another way to control the pricing. It's mostly like how we want to keep our data. When we go to our portal, or suppose I'm trying to create a new storage account here. So here I've given subscription, resource group, storage account name. Okay. So here it asks for redundancy. So see, it is about how is always replicated to ensure durability and high availability. Now I basically, if I want the lower cost, I can put it to locally redundant storage. It provides the basic protection for our storage account. If the storage account is not very crucial for us, we can feel free to put it in locally redundant storage. And in this way, the pricing will be reduced. Till now, we understood about storage account, how to maintain the pricing, what are the data security, how it is saved. But we can also tune it according to our needs and also add some data security things. The first way is using soft delete feature. Soft delete feature is a kind of feature which is available in Azure Storage account, in which suppose I deleted a file by mistake. Now the file has been deleted, but if soft delete feature is enabled, then I can like restore that particular file. Isn't it amazing? Let's go to our Azure portal and see what I'm talking about. So we go back to our storage account here, and here we have ADLS. So if you see, we have container soft delete or blob soft delete has been enabled for 7 days. And when we go inside of it, we will see that we can also kind of configure it. Enable soft delete for blobs for container. So we can also tune it to 30 days. Save. Guys, we get this option to enable or disable soft delete while creating our Azure storage account. And we can tune it there also. And by default, it is for 7 days. So this is one option which helps us to configure. Second one is understanding data security. Basically, guys, data security has two levels in storage accounts. The first level is at transit, and the second level is at rest. Guys, while using WhatsApp, we also see this notification that WhatsApp says that your data is end-to-end encrypted. What does it mean is there are two devices. Suppose this is one device and second device, and the message which is being sent here, it is sent in encrypted form, and here also the message is encrypted unless you open and see the message. Even the employees working in WhatsApp or WhatsApp or other company cannot really see your message because it is end-to-end encrypted. And in this way, data security is at two levels. So here, if a guy sends a data from his system, so while at transit, it is encrypted. If you see, the data is going like this and it is encrypted. So no hacker can hack your data and decode it from this transit. And once it reaches to the cloud, then also it is encrypted. So no person or no employee working in Azure company can also decode the message. So in this way, data security is at two levels. And if we want to see it in portal, we can see it in the form of encryption. Guys, while creating our storage account, it gives us the option of either using Microsoft managed keys or using our own customer managed keys. I think we can see the option here. If not, then we will go back and try to create our storage account. So I'm not able to see the option here. Let's go to our storage account. Let's try to create one, and there we will be able to see the option. So let me name it anything for now. Let me click on next. Since it is ADLS, I have enabled the hierarchical namespace. This is good. Data protection, this is good. So software delete is option is in here with the name data protection, and it is by default for 7 days. Then we have encryption, and encryption type is basically Microsoft managed keys. That means your encryption would be entirely managed by Microsoft company. And if you want more control in encrypting, or you're more aware of that data privacy, so you can click on this option where you will be you can get the option of customer manage the keys. So these both options are available, and you can use any of them. So in this video, we understood about 4 things: the use cases of storage account, blob versus ADLS, pricing and configuration. That's it for the video. Thank you so much.